Just got done listening to Chris Hedges' article being narrated. So that just happened to pop up on my YouTube feed. Anyways, it was about American concentration camps. Sorry, I'm right under like a flight path here. And Hedges makes the point that he thinks the concentration camps will be coming to the U.S. and he cites the U.S. already having 2 concentration camps outside of the borders of the state vis-a-vis Guantanamo Bay in Cuba and El Salvador, which Trump has obviously been touting and even threatening to send people there for vandalizing Tesla cars and dealerships and other, political enemies. And Hedges makes the comparison between the beginnings of the Nazi Germany regime, the Third Reich, and how they started very small with their concentration camp system there. It was like maybe started first few years of the regime, there was maybe 10 of them with like 10,000 people, something like that. And then eventually there was, I think, over 100 with 1 million people. And then obviously they had the extermination or the death camps after that. And Hedges was drawing a lot of parallels between the Nazi Germany regime and the current regime, or just the current climate in the United States having a lot of similarities. And I think he's pretty correct about that. But I would argue that the U.S. already has concentration camps here where certain groups have already been highly demonized and stigmatized as being less than human and having their rights completely stripped away, namely, the migrant population, because I believe in the U.S. there's 100 plus ICE facilities. That's obviously a political group that has been a large focus under the Trump administration. Or you could also say that the U.S. prison system is frankly concentration camps because it's largely filled with poor people and poor people of color, and their labor is used and exploited to generate profits for the prisons as well as for private corporations, because it needs to be pointed out that slavery was never completely abolished for people who are incarcerated and become entangled with the criminal legal system in the United States. So, largely agree with Hedges' analysis, but I think the United States has frankly had concentration camps in one variety or another for quite some time. But as Hedges points out, like they talked about during the time of the Third Reich and Nazi Germany, first they came for, undocumented migrants, and then they came for international students who had green cards because they were, standing up, speaking out against the genocide being perpetrated against the Palestinians. And then they came for you simply because this system, this machine, needs a constant source of bodies to keep it fed and running. And I largely agree with his analysis, but I think we've already have had concentration camps here quite some time, and literally, Japanese internment camps, which were concentration camps. So let me know what you think. I'll link his article down below. Peace. Power to the people. Free Palestine.